If you're going to attack a country, then you should attack Israel, not Iran.
But you can't attack Israel, can you?
I cannot make sense of what politicians all over the planet are doing these days. There's a huge gap between what politicians are saying about global politics and what people in the street are saying about it. So people on the street have seen the Gaza genocide. They've seen all the conflicts Israel has started there. And I think the general sentiment in most countries in the world today is anti-Israel because of the way it's treating the Palestinians. And that's what people are thinking about. The top echelons, like in this country, as you know, if I say free Palestine, or I say that outside on the street, I can be arrested. It's crazy. There's a huge divorce between what people are thinking and what the politicians are saying. And I can't give any explanation for that divorce apart from believing that Israel has something over our political leaders.
What do you mean? You think they have something over our political leaders?
I think we know about the whole Epstein. The way that the Iranians refer to what's happening is they say they're fighting the Epstein class. And there's belief that there's something where Epstein has been working for the Israeli intelligence service and has blackmailed worthy material on a huge range of politicians. And that's the only way that I can explain the sort of things that politicians are supporting when their populace is angry about those same policies. So you get demonstrations here, Free Palestine demonstrations, 80-year-old female vicars being arrested for saying this sort of stuff. You go back 40 years ago, there was a belief in the public and a belief amongst the politicians that Israel had a right to exist and it was all pro-Israel. And now, after 40 years, the type of abuses that have happened in Palestine have hit individual, ordinary people's attitudes to Israel. So ordinary people are saying Israel's the aggressor, Israel's making the mistakes, but the politicians are all saying it's anti-Semitic to criticize Israel.
If you had to give a one-sentence answer as to why this war started, because we sort of hypothesized a few things there, what would that one-sentence answer be?
Again, this is trying to make sense of the senseless. I just think Israel wanted to destroy Iran. They thought they could do it, and they thought they had an American president who would help them do it. And they drastically underestimated how prepared Iran was for that conflict.
Why would Israel want to destroy Iran? What's the context there?
This goes back to religious elements. The Zionist state had the right to that whole region. And there's an expansionist element to Israel's behaviour for the last 40 years. And the major rival they saw themselves as having in that sense was Iran. They can invade Jordan, they could attack Lebanon, they could do all these things. Of course, the 67 war, they wiped out the invading Arabian armies in 6 days. They have this past history of being militarily dominant in the area, and they knew that Iran was too big for them to take on their own. They thought they could get the Americans in there, and I think they drastically underestimated how prepared Iran was for this situation.
When you say Iran were prepared for this situation, and it somewhat surprised Israel and the US, what is that preparedness you're speaking about?
Well, it's for a start, the fact that Iran witnessed that there were decapitation attacks on other countries in the region going way, way back, not just the last 10 years, but the last 40 or 50 years.
And decapitation attack?
You take off the leader, you kill the leaders, and then the leaders kill, the army's in disarray, and you can come in and invade and take over. So getting rid of Saddam Hussein, that sort of thing. Wipe out Saddam Hussein's power base, and then the whole system collapses. That was the Iraq story. But the Iranians observed that, and they have broken their military into 31 divisions. There are 31 provinces, like 31 states in that sense, inside Iran. Their military is broken into those 31 units. They've got their own fail-safe system running in the background. They've got their own resources, their own missiles, production systems, all that sort of stuff. So you've got to take out the whole 31, and then they'd have that sub-area. So the only way you can beat the country is by literally bombing it back to the Stone Age.
Which appears to be what they've been trying to do.
Trying to do, but the thing is, it's a huge country. I mean, look at the scale of Iran. The maps always distort how large, so that is larger. That's more than half the size of Western Europe. It's got a population of 90 million, about 1/3 or 1/4 of the population of Europe, far more than Iraq.
I mean, it looks like it's double the size of the UK or more.
Or more than double. I mean, you know one thing about the Mercator projection.
No, what's that?
Okay, it's that it makes the northern hemispheres twice as large as the southern, and around in the northern hemisphere, but not as far north as England.